YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back, and I am pooped. And hi. I wasn't intending on coming back so soon, um, but sometimes when I guess inspiration, if you will, strikes you, um, you can't really do anything. At least if you're me, you can't do a damn thing until the video is made. Um, Thank you to everybody who congratulated me yesterday about school. You guys have no idea how impactful your words are. I mean, it's personal. It's really personal. And I love you for it. I do. For me, it's never been a numbers game. Um, if there are only two people paying attention to what I had to say, I would be as enthused about those two people as I am about all of you. So please just know it does not go unnoticed. It does not go unread. And I'm so grateful to you. Y'all, when I tell you that I am a study in fatigue right now, your girl is pooped. Like pooped. Oh, calling me a little tired at this point is like calling Karen Carpenter a little hungry. So it's real right now. It is 7:07 in the morning, and I don't think I made it to bed until around 3 because I was dealing with like an existential crisis. I don't even know if this is going to qualify as a beat and blab because there's barely going to be a beat, and that's what you need to know. But I wanted to come in and talk to y'all because during the time that I was away, I was bombarded with requests from people via my Twitter, Instagram, whatever the case was, for my reaction on some of the news events that were taking place in 2015. Now, obviously, I never made a video regarding my thoughts on some of the major happenings because I was pulling myself together. But I figured that since I'm here and since the requests really haven't stopped rolling in, it would be worth it just to offer my take on some of what's taken place. So yeah, so that's kind of what's going to be happening. And with that said, this will all be one video, but I'm going to be leaving because this is my early day. I have a 9:30 a.m. class. So I mean, I'll come back after school and finish the rest of this out. Yeah. Honey, I'm going to be doing like the zombie walk all the way to school. So one of the things, and I guess the first thing that really was prevalent in 2015 that I got asked about a lot is my thoughts or my take or, just sort of where I stood, if you will, on the Black Lives Matter movement. And I actually had the opportunity, which I'm ever so grateful for, to take part in a Black Lives Matter event that was hosted by the founder of Black Lives Matter Boston. Shouts to Donasia Yancey, whom I love so very much. And she organized and facilitated an event specifically geared to both the murder of and the need for uplifting of Black trans women. And I was very blessed to be able to speak at that event. And I did, and to see so many people um, standing in solidarity with trans women who were not trans themselves was really impactful, and I felt incredibly humbled to be able to both participate and to bear witness to that. Um, Surprisingly enough, I got many queries, if you will, in regards to whether or not I believed that all lives matter. And that whole all lives matter response. And it just got very silly for me. You know, fundamentally, of course I believe that all lives matter. I don't know anybody on a fundamental level who doesn't believe that all lives matter. But logistically speaking, all lives do not experience justice in the same way. And I would love for us as a national society, a global society, to come to that place so that all lives can matter and experience equality. But we're not there now. I'd love for us to be, but we're not. So yes, I was, needless to say, I was all the way here for Black Lives Matter, and still am, and will still stand beside and push forward and do whatever I can within my capacity and with my privilege to make it abundantly clear that Black lives do matter. And Black girls are magic, I'm just saying, because they are. So there is that, and coffee and Jesus is the only thing that will keep me going today. Not necessarily in that order. So another thing which my desire to really launch into this is marginal at best. But y'all really wanted to know was Caitlyn Jenner. Where I stand on Caitlyn Jenner. God. Y'all really blew me up about Caitlyn Jenner. And we can talk about it. We can talk about her. You know, I don't know. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner has not ever bothered me. And I can say that with impunity because, frankly, I never expected much from her. You know, what did bother me and what frankly pissed me the hell off was the trans community's response to Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, they were layered and nuanced things. I think the fault was probably, if you can call it fault, it was certainly on both sides. But I don't know. The trans community just kind of wore me out about this lady. Wore me. And it was really based and rooted in the fact, y'all, hold on one second. Well, I mean, I'm still talking, but eyebrows, let me look away. It was really rooted in the fact that I just feel like these undue ass expectations were placed on her. That were not even remotely rooted in realistic ones. There were some folks that really expected her to, I don't know, that were looking for some kind of crazy DK white savior Like she was just going to swoop down and fix everything. And then a lot of folks had what I kind of call the Athena complex. And by that, I mean, if you're familiar with like the ancient Greek belief system, because I have layered and nuanced feelings around the term mythology. But yeah, if you're familiar with the ancient Greek belief system and know the story of Athena, Athena, it was widely regarded as the goddess of wisdom and war. And the story behind it is that she actually sprung fully formed from her father Zeus's head. I know this because I read a lot about ancient Greece. You might know this because of Xena Warrior Princess. I'm just saying. No judgment, but I'm just saying. Yeah, so, and I feel like that's sort of the attitude that a lot of people took with Caitlyn, that she just sort of, like, she was expected to, say sort of one more time, Jahira, that she was expected to just kind of, like, burst into the scene knowing everything. There was no way in hell that was going to happen. And please understand, like, let me be really clear. I'm all for somebody living in their truth. I mean, I did, and honestly, and I really do mean this, I can't imagine 60 years of denying yourself, 60 plus years, you know, and then it just never could have been me. It never, ever, ever could have been me. So, I mean, my heart goes out to her and my hat goes off to her. You know what I mean? It's a hell of a thing to do. And for many of us, I don't want to speak for her, but for many of us, you're talking about life-saving measures. So if that's what had to happen, then kudos to you. But what I would have liked to see, honestly, would have been for her to kind of disappear for a little while, and immerse herself. Well, disappear as much as any public figure can. Believe me, you don't have to comment there. I get it. But there is just sort of a piece around, like, how do I put this in a way that you can understand, or even a way that makes sense to me? As a child, do y'all remember the game in the 80s, Operation, where you had the little, like, bullshit electronic tweezers and you had to, like, pull organs out of this clown-looking dude? I used to love that game. I used to play that game a lot. A whole lot. Like, a disrespectful amount of time. It was kind of ridiculous. Despite how many times I have played the game Operation, nobody has ever called me for a surgical consult. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a whole work that has to be done. You know what I'm saying? There's studying, and there's research, and there's immersion. You know what I mean? Dipping and dabbling is never going to get you to expert level. Only time and effort can do that. I mean, this chick didn't have like 2 full years, 1 full year under her belt, and the community was like clamoring for her to be spot on with everything that came out of her mouth, and she's not gonna be. And if it was anybody else, and I say this really to the trans community, if it was anybody else, we've all seen chicks that are like new, you know what I'm saying? And it's all about pencil skirts and stilettos and how pretty we all feel, and you know what I'm saying? And it's not substantive. It's not quantitative. You know what I mean? It's not a deeper sense of, it's not lived experience in misogyny. Oh God, when she made that speech, I'm just like you. I know what it's like walking in heels. Oh, honey, your privilege is showing. Get some duct tape for that. Like, it's you can't undo 60 years of being at the top of the hierarchical totem pole in a moment. And lest there be any confusion, because I'm sure this will come up, no, I have not seen I Am Kate. I have not seen one episode of I Am Kate. And it's only because, I mean, it could be a great show, and I'm not going to poo-poo on it, but like, these days I'm really just all about not intentionally pissing myself off. So, and I felt as though that show was going to be the one to do it. Um, so no, I haven't watched. I wish it well, but I'm just not in that headspace right now. There's too much going on. So those are two major ones that I really wanted to kind of touch on. Um, so I'll tell you what. Uh, I'll be back. I will be back. Promise. Hold, please. Hey, y'all. So, I wanted to come back really quickly because I feel like I said everything that I needed to say regarding those two issues, which again, I did not really touch on in 2015. And then I wanted to do one thing that I did not do in my first beaten Blab, which was ever so delicately pointed out to me in a DM on my Instagram, um, which was show y'all the finished look. So this is it. And this is a very professional and sacrosanct and impossible to replicate makeup technique known as putting on a statement lip to detract from the luggage under your eyes. So, yeah. I am off to school. Y'all see my backpack in the background? Oh, I'm off to school, y'all. And have a wonderful day. And please take my love with you wherever you go. And as always, one love. Oh. Hey, y'all, it's me. So I'm home from school, and we're in the process of taking off this face. I was going to go ahead and publish this video until I watched it, and I just kind of wanted to throw a postscript in there really quick, which I will do as I take off my makeup. I wanted to be really clear about something in regards to what I said about Caitlyn Jenner. Note to self, maybe 7:30 in the morning is not the best time to attempt to articulate coherent thoughts regarding pop culture issues. I will remember this. But I did want to make something clear, and in case it wasn't. I don't want you to walk away from this video feeling like I have some kind of dislike for Caitlyn Jenner or that, I'm snarky about it or anything like that. I think that I do think that some time away from the spotlight just to really learn this culture that you have now professed your connection to would have been appropriate. I know that a couple of actual friends of mine had an experience on her show where they were interviewed, and they were trans women of color, and obviously they were of a different socioeconomic background, and there was a bit of class disparity there, more than a bit of class disparity, and these are things that I don't feel necessarily should have been learned on camera or should have been exposed to on camera. I mean, taking a year off isn't necessarily a bad thing, and frankly, it's not like you needed the money. I'm just saying, I don't dislike Kate Jenner whatsoever. I don't have a dog in that fight. I have no personal investment whatsoever. Say whatsoever again, Jahira. But I do think there is a piece around learning that which you profess to be a part of now. And quite frankly, and I'm just going to be 100% honest about this, you can't go from at least being perceived as one who enjoys and reaps the benefits of white male privilege to that of a highly marginalized culture or marginalized demographic, which has, seen more than its fair share of murder and atrocities committed to them, without taking those learning opportunities. So that's the way I feel. I'm not going to keep y'all forever, but I just kind of wanted to share that. I hope that I conveyed the message as best I could under decaffeinated and highly exhausted circumstances. In any event, let me know if you need me to clarify anything. And as always, I love you. One love. Ay.